just talk about the emotions and just the big shots back and forth, and what a great game it was overall.
Yeah, these basketball games we've had with Northwestern, I don't expect it to change very much. Chris really has a great mind. He's really recruiting good players, and they run sets that are just, you do one thing, they counter them so well. And I was proud of the way our guys defended. That was the best defense we've played in a long time. Certainly they scored some points, but holding them to under 40% is something that we haven't done during this time. And so it's a great win, regardless of how it happened.
It sounded like they were communicating out there a little bit on defense.
Yeah, I think that we're getting some of that much better. We forget about the offensive end and just play defense. Just, you know, when you have a defense that's still trying to develop, a couple of weak links there can really change everything. It can change everything. And those weak links are getting stronger and stronger. They're not there yet, but they're getting stronger and stronger. That's really helped.
Certainly you guys didn't shoot the ball as well as you did, John, but what did it mean to have big shots fall when you needed them most?
No, for both those guys, you know, Duncan had missed the foul shots, and the one foul shot that really put it into overtime when they made the last second shot. So that obviously was big, that he just bounced back. And as soon as he caught the ball, next time he touched the ball, he put it in. And then he hit another one there on that sideline on a bounce play. So that was big. And then Zach, I was really vacillating on the last play. Who am I going to dial up on this one? And then I just said, I'm going with 21. I'm going with him. And he'll figure something out here, and he made a big shot.
Talk about Duncan's big shot, and from your vantage point, could you tell that was down the three?
No, you know what? I couldn't see the rim because Ola was on it. He was so large. He looked 9 feet tall to me when he came out, and Duncan put a little extra arch on it, and all I could see was the net swishing at the very end.
What was different for Duncan today, kind of emergence of him?
Well, he did get open, you know, a few times. We had one look that we did for him that was the first time we showed that he knocked it down. I just think when he makes his first or second shot, he may be a little bit more, have more energy to shoot it again. Have a better attitude about shooting again. So that probably a good start was good. And then obviously him bouncing back, making those two in overtime was huge.
He missed that free throw at the end of regulation. Is there anything you said to him to make sure he keeps his head?
Not me. I told him we're going right back at you. We're going right back at you. You're going to get threes to help us win the game. Exactly what I said. We had to find a way. Their heads were down. They've been through this with the guys making the last second shot against Northwestern, and we needed to pick everybody up. He was one of the guys that we looked in the eye and said, you're going to bounce back and help us win this game.
John, when you were vacillating whether or not to go with Irvine, what made you decide to go with?
He's one of our taller players that can see over a ball screen better, and that we slipped the screen a little bit just to try and give him a little bit of leverage. And it was just one of those things where we're just, he can make those shots. We see that's his high school career, his AAU career. He hasn't had to do that a great deal for us. We haven't had a lot of these we've either won by 10 or a dozen or lost. And we haven't had a lot of those games where some years we've had 10 of these. So I don't know what it was. It was just a gut feeling.
Everybody would rather win by 20 if you're a coach, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But does a game like this just put a little more juice into tournament time?
Well, yeah, we told these guys anything can happen during this week. If we tell them stories about teams, and watching what Holy Cross did last night with 4 road wins, anything can happen. And you just got to be prepared for anything. Nothing's predetermined right now. So obviously we got the Big Ten champion. They won the game they won the league by 2 points. They're in Indiana. Right, it's a big task. I can't wait to see how our guys come out. We're going to come out with everything we have.
What do you look at as the key differences tomorrow between tonight's matchup with Northwestern?
They are so quick in transition. You know, we got out of big at our place, and then in transition, we just couldn't guard them. Right, they're burning to the rim, they're backdoor to the rim, and then they're elite shooters. So we got to match up, match out, and Yogi Ferrell has just been. I've been in this league for a while. There's been some great point guards. That guy right now is playing as good as anybody. I'm talking the Trey Burks, all those guys playing as good as anybody that we've had in this league.
John, this is a critical time of year. Communication and leadership obviously real big. What have you noticed out of Derek Muhammad that he noticed, especially the past week, he's been more vocal?
Yeah, he has been. Both of those guys know, especially in environments like this. And once again, we went into this, and this time we were half prepared for zone. They played very little man. May have played some in Rutgers in the last 2 games. all zone. So we were prepared. So they had to be leaders today to recognize what they were in, but they played us 100% man. But they were on it. They were. I like right now. Derek's making calls on his own, and I just defer to him.
You're obviously going to really need to score the ball tomorrow.
Yeah.
With Duncan just seeing the ball go through, does that maybe make you a little bit more, say, comfortable, whatever, drawing things up specifically for him to shoot the ball as much as possible?
Yeah, we will. We'll really have to do a great job of finding things. But you know, they watched us. They're sitting there inside watching our calls. We got a big package, so we can do some other things. At the same time, you won't get open much. Indiana has not. I guess it's been Michigan State and Purdue in our league, and Wisconsin been these defensive teams. This Indiana team, and it's a lot. Coach Crean's done a great job, and personnel really guards you. So it's going to be tough to get people open.
You see with Derek, 0 for 7, which is what his struggles were.
Yeah.
What do you
I thought the ball was going in a couple times. He had a couple tough ones, but if you watch Derek, he's always good for a bounce back game.
Are you worried at all about?
Time for a couple.
Yeah, that was ugly again, wasn't it? Yeah, but they've done a great job last year. They really get in you. They won't let you get the ball. And the second time we blew up our coverage. Derek stopped it. He should have cleared everything out. But it was tough for us to get the ball in bounds. And we had 3 different plays we ran. We couldn't get it in one of those. Or we got it in finally the last time, but that was tough. We're talking about the end of the game. Yeah.
You wanted them to take time out. You've talked about that, but at the same time, take 2 in a row.
Yeah,
Put you in a tough spot later.
I think the one time he would have been open if he just would have looked. And like you said, it might be right. Now, it was Zach taking it out before and baseline on the bounce. Now it's Mohammed. I got to look at it, but I think we were open a couple times. But they're in you now. They're in you. I mean, he didn't run the baseline. He's got to do that. There's issues we still got to clean up.
You worried about
proud of that.
You worried about the energy at all after a game like this?
Yeah, we got to rest right now. I mean, we got to rest and get ready for tomorrow. We'll have shoot around time here. We won't use it. We will just walk and talk and watch clips of the Indiana game, as well as watch some similarities between this game and what Indiana will do.
John, speaking of talking, do you sit down with Derek? I mean, uncharacteristic game for him today. Do you sit down? Do you ask him to change anything, or was this just chalk it up?
No, he played some really good defense, and maybe his legs were tired or whatever because he played such good defense today. I mean, he's getting whacked with ball screens by a pretty big man over and over and over again, and he did a really good job. So no, I won't say anything. We'll just move on and tell him to make the next shot.
Offensively, just shots didn't fall today.
No. I mean, we didn't know. They didn't fall for a lot of people. We only shot 35%.
Going for the loose balls and those 50-50 balls, that's something you've been stressing a lot.
Yeah, we've been doing it, and still we sat there and looked. But it is something that if I go back at the season, it's something I expect, and it happens sometimes in practice. It doesn't. This is a particular team that I got to be tougher on that to make sure that they pay. I got to train this better with them.
How much does it change you when Ricky
Last question.
Gets that ball, that loose ball?
Yeah, those were huge for us. Really huge. So I mean, we just got to continue to work at that aspect of it. We got, like I said, the younger guys in our team. That is not as natural to them as some other teams I've had. So I depend on they gradually will get that. I can't depend on that anymore.